Just try to recollect in your memory and then discuss with me. So, can anyone tell me what we had earlier discussed? The whole chapter, right from the beginning.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
first we discussed about impurities and its type.
Okay.
Then we discussed about three impurities, mainly arsenic, about nitrogen and sulfates, and fluoride. Then we discussed about alkalinity and its five cases.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It is arsenic, fluoride, and nitrate.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Huh. Okay. So this
Then
is
we discussed
regarding
about
drinking water and what are their effect on human health that we had discussed in details. Okay. Hmm. Then for
yes, ma'am.
industrial, yes.
Then we discussed alkalinity and its
Yeah.
five cases.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Then
And
we
then
hardness.
yes, hardness. So we have discussed alkalinity determination by double indicator method and hardness by EDTA method. Yes, anyone else? What next?
And we discussed about boiler troubles
Yes.
and there are four types.
So when you begin, if impure water is used in boiler for steam generation, there are certain troubles. So the troubles are of four types. Yes, what are they? Yes, continue. Please continue. What are the troubles?
Priming and foaming, caustic embarrassment,
Caustic
impurity water.
embrittlement, boiler corrosion, scale and sludge formation. Yes, yes. So, like first of all, we need to study what are the causative agents, why these troubles are caused, due to presence of which impurities this is causing, by what phenomena these scale are depositing. So, means cause has to be there. Okay, three, four, whatever number of cause are there, that will be there. Then for boiler corrosion, you have different cause like presence of dissolved oxygen, dissolved carbon dioxide, mineral salts like magnesium chloride, which produces acid, and free mineral acidity and alkalinity present, and so on. Okay, so like this is all the cause for various things. Then we see that how to remove these impurities, so that, or what are the remedial measures. So that is the prevention part of it. Okay. So boiler troubles. Then we started with external treatment. Yes, what we studied in external treatment?
Lime soda process.
Only one lime soda process. So lime removes mostly all type of hardness except calcium permanent hardness. And when you are adding lime, you are adding calcium because lime is CaOH twice. So it has to be ensured that the lime added is removed as precipitate, and then all your calcium permanent hardness is removed by soda. Then we saw that there can be numericals, and we have solved the numericals. Numericals may say that ferrous sulfate was used as the coagulant at the rate of, well, like whatever XYZ milligrams per liter, or sodium aluminate is used as coagulant at the rate of YZ, or alum Al2SO4 thrice is used as coagulant at the rate of so and so, and that is how the lime soda numerical and the calculation we have done. Okay, now we move ahead with the external treatment, and that is the next type is a ion exchange process. Now this you can classify zeolite or permuted process as ion exchange process, but here only cations are exchanged. Okay. So since only cations are exchanged, that becomes its one of the drawback, that you don't get completely deionized water. So what are zeolites? Zeolites are known as permuted, and in Greek it means boiling stones. They occur naturally as hydrated aluminosilicate minerals like Na2O, Al2O3, X SiO2, Y H2O. Okay, where X is equal to X may be 2 to 10 and Y may be 2 to 6. So they can exchange reversibly sodium ions for hardness producing ions in water. Now, the reason of exchange is Na plus is univalent and hardness causing salts are divalent. So, because of higher valency, we see that this Na plus can be exchanged for Ca2 plus or Mg2 plus. Now, the process is like hard water is allowed to percolate through the zeolite bed, and when it percolates through the zeolite or permuted bed, then it is seen that Na2Z, the reactions are written like this. Na2Z, they are writing Ze, we write Z only. Okay, Na2Z plus, see if there is calcium bicarbonate, it will form calcium zeolite plus NaHCO3, or if there is Na2Z plus magnesium bicarbonate, it forms Mg zeolite and sodium is released, so it forms sodium bicarbonate. Alkalinity will be caused to the water. Then, if calcium and magnesium salts are present, then it will lead to formation of calcium zeolite. If calcium sulfate is there, this calcium zeolite NaCl plus Na2SO4. Na2Z plus MgCl2 or MgSO4, these are permanent hardness. Magnesium permanent, this is calcium permanent. So Mg zeolite will be retained. So magnesium is retained by the zeolite, and NaCl or Na2SO4 will be forming. Now, after some time, all the sodium ions in the zeolite are replaced by calcium and magnesium. Like here is the diagram. I think diagram should have been larger. Now, this is gravel, coarse gravel here. You see this diagram? Then you are having the permutates here. These are the zeolites, and like hard water is allowed to pass through from here. So it percolates down, and when it is percolating due to gravity, exchange of ions will take place. So as this reaction continues, goes on, a time reaches that all the zeolite present in this bed is converted as calcium or magnesium zeolite. And as the percentage of calcium and magnesium zeolite goes on increasing, initial consider that 10,000 liters of water has passed, or 1,000 liters of water has passed, and now there is mostly 90% of zeolite is converted into calcium zeolite and magnesium zeolite. In such case, water passing through it will not be softened. So what you need, like further, you will find that this zeolite is completely exhausted. Exhausted means zeolite is completely converted into calcium and magnesium. So in such case, you will need another run. So zeolite process operates in the alternating cycle of softening run and post brine solution is added. Brine means NaCl solution. So when you pass NaCl solution, what is done? This part is closed. This part is closed and this part is closed. And the brine, raw water is stopped, and only brine will be allowed to remain here on the permuted or zeolite. Now, brine to stay here, what happens? Your concentration of NaCl is very high. So due to high concentration of NaCl, you will find that exchange of calcium and magnesium with sodium takes place. So calcium and magnesium, This whole part is filled with a concentrated 10% NaCl. 10% means 10 grams in 100 ml, 100 grams in 1 liter. So 100 grams in 1 liter is quite concentration of NaCl, exchange will take place and divalent will be released and the monovalent will be retained. That is how regeneration takes place after softening. So a zeolite process of softening comprises of alternating cycle of softening run and regeneration. And that is the basic generation and the reactions taking place there. First, we will see how the zeolites are obtained. Now, certain zeolites are natural zeolites, which are non-porous, amorphous, and durable. For example, natrolite, Na2O, Al2O3, 4SiO2, twice H2O. Now, these are like some green sand and all will be there. So, that can be used. Then synthetically, you can prepare zeolite by treating like a porous material with gel-like structure can be synthesized by using sodium carbonate, alumina, and silica. Now, apart from these things, like when you are preparing sodium zeolite, like what is the composition? It has to have Na2O, Al2O3, and SiO2. So you may be using some quantity of sodium aluminate also, and different combinations are used sodium aluminate and alumina, silica, sodium carbonate, and heating it to such specific temperature, you get formation of synthetic zeolite. This synthetic zeolite, you can maintain the porous nature by changing the reaction conditions, right? So you can get synthetic one. These are the natural ones. Okay, so what are zeolites? Zeolites are hydrated aluminosilicate minerals having formula Na2O, Al2O3, X SiO2, YH2O. And these are kept here. They are capable of exchanging the sodium ion. And when you pass raw water through it containing hardness, uh, due to gravity, the water will trickle or percolate down through the, this is the permuted or the zeolite bed. Through this zeolite bed, it will percolate and it will, the reactions taking place at the zeolite is Na2Z is converted to CaZ or MgZ. Okay, and the time reaches that after specific number of liters of hard water be getting soft through this, the zeolite bed is no more able to soften the hard water added from here. So it will, it is exhausted. In such condition, we say that the zeolite is exhausted and you need to regenerate it. Okay, so this other half of the cycle is regeneration. So for regeneration, when the zeolite bed is exhausted, the supply of hard water is stopped and it is regenerated by treating with concentrated brine, that is 10%. Brine means NaCl solution. 10% NaCl solution. So CaZ or MgZ, which is exhausted zeolite, plus twice NaCl, it gives formation of Na2Z plus CaCl2 or MgCl2. Okay, so this is the reclaimed zeolite. And these are the washings. So what happens when you stop raw water inlet and outlet and everything and put brine here, you have to close this. And when you are like you want to now remove the brine, unreacted brine, this part is closed and the unreacted brine is collected or removed from this end. So when you remove it from this end, maybe the tap is shown here, the opening is shown here. It may be somewhere here so that the brine is correct, like the excess brine and the like regenerated part, that is calcium chloride and calcium sulfate, magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate. So formed in the this particular reaction, this part is removed. So it comprises of salting, first washing, then salting, and then again washing. Okay. So you need to, after putting brine, you have to remove the brine solution and then wash the permuted thoroughly so that all the calcium chloride or the calcium and magnesium chloride and sulfate form that will be removed. So what is the basic principle? We see that the zeolite can exchange cations like calcium and magnesium and the time, so that will be the softening run, and when it is exhausted, you go for regeneration run by adding NaCl. After putting NaCl, you need to uh, remove the brine and back washing is done. So you need to wash it nicely, and that is also collected from through this. And when the washing and all is done, then you close this tap, and then you can start the raw water supply so that the cation and the anion part is removed. Okay, so this is how the zeolite process works. So zeolite process works in a cycle of softening and the regeneration run. Okay, so half process is softening, half process is regeneration. The washing containing calcium chloride and magnesium chloride are led to drain, and the regenerated zeolite bed is used again for softening purpose. The sodium nitrate, KCl, KNO3, etc., can also be used for regeneration instead of NaCl. But NaCl is mostly used because of its low cost, and the products of regeneration process like calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, which is coming out, can be obtained and can be used somewhere else. Now, if you are removing and you are again getting calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, you will say that why to go for this process. Now, what is there? Like when you pass raw water, suppose you are removing hardness from say 10,000 liters of water. Okay, so if this zeolite bed has worked for 10,000 liters of water, you have softened 10,000 liters of water. But when you backwash it or you brine it and backwash it, you are using hardly 5 to 10 liters of NaCl solution for this regeneration of zeolite. Now, when you are collecting this backwashings, the backwashings will be say 10 liters of NaCl used plus some washing water, like you put 10 liters. So, like the hardness is removed from 10,000 liters, and now hardness is there in only, this is what is collected around 20 liters. So, this part will be there only in the 20 liters. So, you have removed hardness from a large quantity of water, and now that after backwashing and all, your these salts, hardness causing salts, are present just in 20 liters of water. Okay, so that large amount of water, 10,000 liters of water, can be used for industrial purpose, right? And this 20 liters, which has a concentrated, a higher concentration of these salts, can be used for some other work. The washings containing calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, etc., are led to drain, and the regenerated zeolite bed is used again for softening. I think this we have read, are highly soluble and can be easily rinsed out in the zeolite bed. Like this calcium chloride and magnesium chloride formed can be rinsed out of the zeolite bed. By knowing the amount of NaCl used for regeneration for the exhausted zeolite bed, the hardness of the water sample can be calculated by using the formula. This is the formula. So, what is the formula to find out hardness and NaCl required for regeneration? It is hardness. Seen that hardness is equated to NaCl required for regeneration. This is an important page. You please take a screenshot or write it down in your notebook. Thus, hardness in ppm ppm or it should be. So correct. Okay, you write this or, not or. Or APM. So ppm or milligrams per liter is equated to NaCl in milligrams required for regeneration. You see why it is written like this. Now you see generally your hardness is expressed or the composition of salts in numericals. We have salt, lime soda numerical. Okay, it is expressed in milligrams per liter. Now, if your left hand side is in milligrams per liter, your right hand side also is obtained in milligrams per liter. If your left hand side will be in grams, this will be obtained in grams. So we equate hardness in ppm or milligrams per liter equal to, this is in CaCO3 equivalent, equal to NaCl in milligrams required for regeneration of zeolite. And since the hardness is expressed in CaCO3 equivalents, this hardness in milligrams per liter into the number of liters of hot water is equated to NaCl, the quantity or amount of NaCl in milligrams, into 50 by 58.5. So what is 50? 50 is the equivalent weight for calcium carbonate and 58.5 is for NaCl. So 50 by 58.5 is written here. If you are writing 100, it will be 58.5 into 2. So simply write 50 by 58.5. Okay, so this is the NaCl. Now, if you get a numerical, we'll solve numerical on lime zeolite process. Then only we will go ahead to the ion exchange process. Okay, so what must be the limitation of this zeolite process? Can anyone tell me? What do you think? What is the drawback of this process?
Very costly.
Okay, costly. And
As we go further, the softness reduces and hardness increases.
because if it is exhausted, then water will not be softened at all. Yes. Any other
And we
drawback?
might not know when it is exhausted.
Yeah, you have to keep checking the quality of water coming out. Softened water has to be titrated. 10 ml लेके EDTA के साथ तुरंत titrate कर लो. Isn't it? You have to do that.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. यहाँ like this slide, looking into this slide, can you tell me one biggest drawback?
Maybe it's only exchange cations, not about
Yeah,
anions.
that is the very first drawback. It is exchanging only cations and it is not able to exchange anions. So now we will see various um, disadvantages of zeolite process. So one is very apparent, very clear that it can exchange only cations and the anion part is not removed. And where all your Na is going, sodium bicarbonate or sodium sulfate or sodium chloride, the total dissolved solids are increasing than what was present in the raw water because the equivalent weight for sodium is 23 and that for calcium is 20 and magnesium is 12. So if you see the weight, this is 23, this is 20 and this is 12. When 23 is released in water and 20 and 12 are retained on the permutate. So the quantity of total dissolved solids are increasing. Secondly, you can see here that two Na plus ions are released and one calcium is retained here. So it is both the way saying is same thing that TDS is increasing. So we see first the limitations of zeolite process. Turbidity, suspended matter is to be turbidity is the suspended matter. Okay, so it is to be removed by coagulation, filtration before the water is admitted to the zeolite bed. Otherwise, this turbidity or sand and slit particles, fine particles of sand and all, will clog the pores of zeolite bed, making it inactive. So the pores, once they are blocked, it will no more soften anything. Then ions like Fe and Mn, Mn2 plus and Fe2 plus must be removed first because these ions react with zeolite bed which cannot be easily regenerated. So once this forms MnZ and FeZ, then you will find that just like your blood forms carboxyhemoglobin with carbon monoxide, and once carbon monoxide blocks the site of hemoglobin, your oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin is reduced tremendously. And this carbon monoxide can't be removed from the hemoglobin surface, and that is why it can't exchange like oxygen and carbon dioxide. Whereas if the carbon dioxide is there, the moment it comes into the lungs, it can exchange oxygen to carbon dioxide. So just like that, this zeolite, it has high affinity for manganese and Fe, and once the zeolite forms MnZ and FeZ, they are not regenerated by NaCl, and that is why if they are not regenerated, even small quantity of this Fe salt and Mn salt, if they are there, they will form. um, Something which can't be regenerated, and hence the overall exchange capacity of your zeolite bed will go down. And on subsequent use, you will find that the softened water is not of good quality if a lot of these two things are there. Okay, so due to the affinity with this and uh, because of the affinity, it is not regenerated. What is not regenerated? FeZ and MnZ. Hmm? Manganese, the manganese zeolite and iron zeolite. Okay, mineral acids, if present in water, may destroy the zeolite bed, and hence they must be neutralized with soda in advance. Therefore, feeding water into the before feeding water into the zeolite bed. Then another drawback is this method does not remove anions. So bicarbonate present in hard water get converted into sodium bicarbonate, which goes into along with the soft water. Okay, so if this soft water is used in boiler, this NaHCO3 dissociates as NaHCO3, forming NaOH plus CO2. Okay, so what has happened now? You are getting caustic material, caustic soda, that's NaOH, and this NaOH leads to caustic embrittlement, and CO2 makes the water acidic and corrosive. So, like this NaOH leads to caustic embrittlement. CO2 will be like you can say that um, it is removed along with the steam. Okay, the treated water contains more total dissolved solids as the sodium salts are incorporated. Equivalent weight of sodium is 23, calcium 20, and magnesium is 12. Moreover, high cost of the plant and material also acts as limiting factor. So these are some of the limitations. Okay, 5, 6 limitations are there of the zeolite process. Then coming to the advantages. Hardness is removed almost completely and the residual hardness is about 10 ppm. So you can see that in lime soda process, you never came below 17 to 20 ppm. Whereas in this, your residual hardness will be very less, that is 10 ppm. The equipment is compact and occupies less space. That is nowadays very big advantage. Compact equipment and occupying less space because space is a like, big worry nowadays for industries which are set up new. It is a clean and rapid process. Sludge is not formed as the impurities are not precipitated. So in lime soda process, calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide sludge the precipitate were forming. So if that disposal of that sludge was there. Now here your sludge is not forming, but it remains in dissolved condition, and that is hardly uh, 20 liters for regeneration, what all quantities used, that much only is there. So that can be subjected to use further where you require magnesium chloride and calcium chloride and all. Okay, so it requires less skill for maintenance as well as operation. So like less skilled laborers are required for operating these things because there is no much like operating conditions, stringent conditions are not there. Okay, so these are the limitations and advantages of zeolite process. Okay, now you can go for comparing the zeolite and the lime soda process. Zeolite means it is also termed as permuted. Okay. So, what are the comparison point? First point is the residual hardness of water obtained is 10 to 15 ppm. Here, the residual hardness obtained in the lime soda process is 15 to 50 ppm. Okay. The cost of plant and zeolite are higher. Capital cost is high because you need to regenerate it. तो आपको NaCl भी चाहिए. Capital cost is lower. A very large quantity of water can be treated with a cheaper lime and soda. The exhausted zeolite bed can be regenerated with brine, which is very like here you say costly, here you say cheap. Hence, the operating cost is lesser. Installation cost is higher, operating cost is lesser. Here, the operation expenses are high as costly chemicals, lime, soda, and coagulants are required. Yeah, it should be. Okay. What is the next point? Will anyone read for me the fourth point? Will anyone read for me the fourth point?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Occupies less space as it is compact.
Okay. Roll number 18. Anyone else will read this point for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Plant occupies more space as it depends on amount of water to be softened.
Okay. So, so it takes there is some lag, so it takes some time for the students to immediately respond to uh, my answer, like my question. Okay, I'll read the rest of the part. It can't be used for treating acidic water because the acid tends to attack the zeolite and its porosity and may damage or disintegrate the zeolite. Whereas there is no such problem. Secondly, as I have already discussed, the total dissolved solid increases because when calcium is retained or magnesium is retained by the zeolite, sodium is passing in the is going in the softened water which is having higher weight, and that is why the total dissolved solid weight is increasing. Treated water in lime soda process contains lesser percentage of sodium salts, so it will not show more of carryover. Okay, it is completely free from sodium bicarbonate. This is the most important impurity because bicarbonates are totally removed by whom? Soda or lime?
Lime, lime, ma'am.
Okay. So lime removes bicarbonate completely. So what we find that this part is not there. So the caustic embrittlement fear is not there. That this will this part, if since it is removed by lime soda process, you don't have much of caustic embrittlement. But if you use such water directly into the boiler, it will definitely cause caustic embrittlement, right? Caustic. What is caustic embrittlement? It's a type of
Corrosion at bends.
Boiler
Boiler
trouble.
Boiler trouble.
it is a type of boiler trouble. Okay. Okay. So raw water to be softened must be free from suspended matter. Otherwise, the pores of the zeolite block the bed, loses its ion exchange capacity. Uh, Here we see that the process is free from such limitation. Then it can be operated under pressure and can be designed for fully automatic operation. This process cannot be operated under pressure. Okay, it is clean process as no sludge is formed. Here sludge is formed. And then control test comprises in checking the hardness of treated water. Yes, you have to keep checking कि exhaust हो गया क्या exhaust zeolite. The process adjusts itself to water of different hardness. But here you have to know the in lime soda process. You have to know what is the hardness of water. कम है तो कम chemicals डालिए, ज़्यादा है तो ज़्यादा chemicals डालिए. यहाँ here the process adjusts itself to the if whether it is less or more, as and when it is coming, the quantity of water softened will depend. So here you have to know how much is the hardness and then add lime and soda accordingly, and then you can treat as much as many number of liters. Okay, so these are the comparison points for the zeolite and lime soda process. Now you solve this numerical. Okay, everyone should write this. First, what is given in this box is the formula. Write the formula, then write the numerical. Overwriting. Should I dictate? The hardness, right? Question 1. The hardness of 2000 liters of a water sample was completely removed by a zeolite softener. The zeolite required 25 liters of NaCl solution containing 1750 milligrams per liter of NaCl for regeneration. Calculate the hardness of water sample. So what all things are given here? Okay, first write this numerical. How many of you have written? Please unmute yourself and say.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I have written.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
I have written. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now tell me what all things are given. Hardness in milligrams per liter, is it given? You are supposed to calculate hardness of water sample. So this is the part which is not told to you. Now number of liters of hard water is given, that 2000 liters of hard water sample was softened by zeolite process. Then what is given is the quantity of NaCl given. Yes, 1750 milligrams per liter of NaCl solution they say. That means this is the part, but this is per liter given. And it is saying that 25
125.
liters were used. So it will be 25. This part becomes 25 into 1750. Let it remain in milligrams into 50 by 58.5 will be the formula. So what is there? Hardness in milligrams per liter into 2000 liters will be equal to 25 liters into 1750 into 50 by 58.5. Okay. So then you write hardness in milligrams per liter is equal to, this is 25 into 1750 into 50 divided by 58.5 into 2000. So the units will be coming out to be
18.7.
18.696, ma'am.
18.696.
18.696.
18.696 is the answer. Okay. So everyone is getting, or only few students like roll number 32, 18,
Yes, ma'am. I'm
25,
getting
82.
18.7.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
18.6.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
18.69.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us go for the second numerical. See, they are asked, and numericals will be definitely there. Um, a large portion like is for numericals. Okay. The next numerical, write the numerical. Okay. I'll dictate. Second, an exhausted zeolite softener, right? An exhausted zeolite softener, an exhausted zeolite softener was regenerated by passing 190 liters by passing 190 liters of NaCl solution having strength of 75 grams per liter of NaCl. How many liters of hard water sample having hardness of 800 ppm? How many liters of hard water sample having hardness 800 ppm can be softened using this softener?
पंद्रह हजार दो सौ चौबीस
1522.35 liters.
18,224.
0.35.
Okay, first of all, because everyone is not solving with this speed, right? Someone is saying 15, someone is saying what, 13. See, what is given first, we should discuss this because unless you practice these, things won't be there. Now, this is the formula, and what are given? The given things are 190 liters of NaCl solution having strength 75 grams per liter. So this part is given 75 into 190 will be there into 50 by 58.5 is equal to. Now this part is given 800 ppm and number of liters to be softened are asked. Now what is the thing here? Your left hand side given is in ppm. Okay, right here 800 ppm into L is equal to, this is 75 grams per liter. So there is 75 grams. So your unit on left hand and right hand side are not same. So you can't equate them. So to equate your left hand side of 800 ppm to your right hand side, you have to multiply this by 1000. Okay. So it will be 75,000 milligrams per liter of NaCl into 190 liters into 50 by 58.5, and then you get the, try to get the answer. So the number of liters of hard water softened will be equal to 190 into 75,000, this many milligrams per liter into 50 divided by 58.5 into 800. So what is the answer here now? Tell me.
15,224.
15,224. Right? अभी कोई ये नहीं है जिनका चेंज हो गया था, like some students had some other different answer. So it is 15,224 liters of water can be softened through that particular zeolite softener which has 800 ppm hardness. Right? Okay. So things are clear here?
Yes,
Speak
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, so then we don't have any problem.
Ma'am, please
Okay.
previous
Solve this
slide.
numerically. A hard water sample having 530 ppm CaCO3 equivalent hardness was completely softened on passing over a zeolite bed. So what is given? Hardness of water is given as 530 ppm. Okay. The exhausted bed was number of liters is not mentioned. So the exhausted bed was subsequently regenerated using 75 liters of 45% brine solution. So your left hand side is 530 ppm milligrams per liter into the number of liters is not given is equal to 75 liters of 45% brine solution into 50 by 58.5. Right? Calculate the quantity of hard water that has been softened using zeolite softener. Now, where is the where in this equation some new thing is there? The new thing is here. What is this?
Percentage is given that brine solution
Yeah,
percentage.
brine का percentage दिया है. So whenever brine या किसी भी quantity का percentage is given, then this is like this many grams dissolved in 100 ml. Okay, water density 1. So when you dissolve gram in 100 ml, it becomes percentage. So make it a point to keep in mind that any percent solution is,
54,426.7.
yes, a roll number 83. Yeah, some students got answer also. Okay, so then you write the formula.
Yes.
But the thing, 45% is equal to 45 grams present in 100 ml, and you are using 75 liters of such a solution. So that means if this is 45 grams per 100 ml means it is 45,000 milligrams per 100 ml. So 45,000 milligrams per 100 ml becomes 450,000 milligrams per liter. Are you getting? This is 100 ml. You convert it into liters. So 10 is added because of that. It is like that. Things are clear? See, everyone should try to.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so you got the volume as volume of water sample or so hard water treated by zeolite process becomes this is 75 liters into 4.5 into 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 into 50 by 58.5 into 530 milligrams per liter. Now all the units, this is in milligrams per liter and this is also milligrams per liter. So you can get the answer 54,426. Are you getting the same answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Yes, ma'am. Same answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
So with this, yes.
ma'am, excuse me.
Mhm.
Ma'am, over there, 45%. Could you please explain it again, ma'am? Milligrams per liter,
whenever
then it should.
whenever any solution is prepared, if you dissolve say X grams in 100 ml, what is 100 ml of water? How many gram of water it is? 100 ml?
100 gram.
100
Yes.
grams.
Since density is 1, the 100 ml of water is 100 grams. Now, when you dissolve some quantity, 100, say 4 gram or 5 gram in 100 ml, so your 5 gram is present in 100 grams. So that
Yes,
becomes
ma'am.
percentage. That becomes percentage. So whenever percentage solution is given, it is whatever percentage they are mentioning, 7%, 11%. It will be that many grams dissolved in 100 ml of water. Okay. And with that ratio, this 45% brine solution is what? 45 grams are dissolved in 100 ml. That means 450 grams are dissolved in 1 liter. Concentration क्या हो गया? 450 grams per liter. तो grams को milligram में convert किया तो 450 into 1000. So this gram becomes ml. So two things are here. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
If it is not water solution, then density should also be taken, ma'am.
I didn't get your question, Pujita.
45% means if it is not water, then density should also be taken or not.
Yeah, but zeolite process don't go too much in detail. It's not JEE exam. This is a very basic concept of zeolite process and water softening. Okay, so since it is like zeolite process and water softening things and all, these things are very simple. That something is there in some salt of calcium and magnesium are there in water. A large quantity has to be softened, and for that you are using like the municipalities and all those things will be using this. So you don't have to worry about there is some other solvent and other thing used. It will be water only. Okay. Yeah, if it is like a complicated pure chemistry reaction and all, then you will have to think about that. Or when you are talking about any reaction, chemical reaction, then you will have to think it that way. Here, the brine solution means it will be in water because you want to regenerate it. So universal solvent is there. For other solvents also, like if you are considering, then the rest of the things will come, density and all. Yeah. So is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Can you please show the previous slide?
This way. You see, I have taken few numericals only, and I try to cover all type of impurities or all type of numericals which can be there in the simplest way in a single step reaction. Okay, you can go through the book which you have shown, but I think in that book, jo WhatsApp group में you have put, alkalinity is not there in that book. So alkalinity you can expect in the theory exam also. I am again telling you. Okay, alkalinity can be expected in theory exam also. Anyone having any doubt? So today we will not go to ion exchange process. Today we will stop here only. So what all we have discussed today? This was yesterday. Dates are still the last year's only. Zeolite process. What is zeolite? What are zeolites? What are natural zeolite? What are synthetic zeolite? And what is zeolite process? Zeolite process comprises of alternating cycle of softening run and regeneration run. That completes the process. So the softening run is written in this way. Na2Z plus hardness causing salt forming Ca or Mgz plus NaCl or Na2SO4 released. So that is the softening run. So calcium and magnesium is retained on this. This diagram should be drawn if the zeolite process is asked. Then this. Now my question for you is, why does exchange takes place between the ions? Why exchange should take place between the ions? And second question, if you give me correct answer, then second question is, when you go for regeneration, why this magnesium zeolite should break and Na should come here? Are you getting my question? Dear students,
Use it again.
question is, why the exchange of calcium and magnesium with sodium is taking place here, and when you go for regeneration, why the calcium and magnesium zeolite should get regenerated with NaCl solution? Are you getting the question? Exchange क्यों क्यों होता है exchange of ions?
उनकी ज्यादा affinity होगी
Double
Na की तरफ।
displacement. Because calcium is divalent cation.
Okay, due to higher valency, this particular exchange is taking place. तो higher valency ने एक बार exchange करने के बाद, why it should undergo regeneration?
Ma'am, because the
Higher concentration of
Because the concentration is high. Okay, good. So with this, your zeolite and lime soda process are over, and these are some of the numericals which I have taken. Still some numericals with some small like changes in these things may be there, and I think that changes you can tackle well
Ma'am,
if you know the basic
Ma'am.
concept of this. Yes.
ma'am, I did not understand the 10th point in lime soda, difference between lime soda and that one zeolite.
10th point.
Yes, ma'am.
Control test comprises of checking the hardness of treated water. अब आपके जियोलाइट प्रोसेस में आपको चेक करते रहना है पानी जो बाहर निकल रहा है वो अब शुरू में तो सॉफ्ट एंड आएगा लेकिन जब ज्यादा क्वांटिटीज पास करेंगे तो ये शायद उतना एक्सचेंज नहीं कर पाएगा वो धीरे धीरे करके एग्जॉस्ट होते जाएंगे तो थोड़ा थोड़ा कैल्शियम मैग्नीशियम इसके साथ निकलते जाएगा तो आपको बाद में चेक करना जरूरी है कुछ समय के बाद कि इसमें कितना कैल्शियम मैग्नीशियम है उसको कैसे चेक करेंगे EDTA के टाइट्रेशन के साथ टेक अ स्मॉल क्वांटिटी एंड टाइट्रेट विथ EDTA 10 ml यू गेट टू नो कि कितना उसमें ये सॉफ्टनेस कंप्लीटली सॉफ्टेंड है या कुछ salts are है the moment you find कि नहीं like some salts are coming you will have to you get to know कि नहीं इसको regenerate करना है तो regenerate करना है तो फिर से like you go for regeneration
मैम ये तो हम देख सकते हैं ना उतना ही वेट मतलब डालेंगे मतलब जितनी उसमें हार्डनेस होगी
NaCl का हाँ
नहीं जियोलाइट का मैम उतना ही वेट डालेंगे हम इसमें जितनी वाटर में हार्डनेस होगी दोनों
नहीं
सेम से तो है
जनरली ऐसा नहीं होता है जनरली ये जो जियोलाइट बेड होता है वो ऑलमोस्ट एक बड़े सिलेंडर या एक 10x10 का रूम कैसे होता है उस तरह का एक सीमेंट का बना हुआ ऐसा एक रूम की तरह होता है वर्टिकल और उसमें ये कोर्स ग्रेवल नीचे बिछा के जियोलाइट डाला जाता है जैसे म्युनिसिपैलिटी ट्रीटमेंट वगैरह में जहाँ भी ये यूज होता है तो लाइक जनरली इट इज समथिंग लाइक दैट तो जियोलाइट जो आपके पास है दैट अ बेड इज फॉर्म्ड एंड थिंग्स आर used like this.
मैं
So
यही कह रहा
instead
था
of
मैं कि जितना
calculating the water hardness, no, the water hardness has nothing to do much with it. ये यहाँ पे वही लिखा है कि the process adjusts itself to water of different hardness. अब आपके पानी में कम हार्डनेस हो या ज्यादा हो या थोड़ा कम हो still the same zeolite bed can be used. You don't have to change the quantity of zeolite. समझ लीजिए 100 kg का बैग है आपके पास जियोलाइट का वो आपने
Yes,
ऐसे बड़ा फैला के ग्रेवल के ऊपर बना के रख दिया and then water is passing through it as shown in the diagram. Still that will
yes
work.
ma'am
Okay, so you can
All
test
Na will be
it.
changed.
Yes,
All NAs of that bag will be changed by Ca2 plus, ma'am.
yes. तो अगर आपका water is containing less of calcium and magnesium, तो बहुत ज्यादा पानी soften करने के बाद वो exhaust होगा, है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
अगर पानी में hardness कम है, तो it can treat a large
जरूरत
quantity.
नहीं है ना मैम.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So today we will stop here and close the meeting now with these numericals.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you please tell the syllabus for mid-sem?
Yeah. Syllabus for mid-sem is water treatment, refractories, adsorption, and kinetics. So I will go with water treatment and refractories first because they are totally new for you, right? एक मिनट मैं देख के आपको बताती हूँ. I will put in your group one document, that portion like water treatment mein what all is there, and refractories may like what all we will be discussing, and then adsorption and kinetics because it is pure chemistry, pure physical chemistry. You have already studied pure physical chemistry. We are not going too much in details, but like some part like first order, second order kinetics, that is hydrolysis of ethyl acetate using HCl and NaOH. फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड ऑर्डर एक्सपेरिमेंट में भी है वो दोनों एक्सपेरिमेंट. एडसॉर्प्शन पे है एक एक्सपेरिमेंट which verifies Freundlich adsorption isotherm. तो इधर theory में like some part is there. So I'll cover, don't worry about that. Today is what 10th and your exam is starting from